What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the next episode of our Betrayer LP. I've been looking forward to playing this game quite a bit. In fact, because you can only have one save game in this, I have been really at the position where I've been raring to go. And so I am really pleased to have you back with me. We wanted to check out this ravine the last time we had played the game, and so that's what we're going to do. We're on the opposite side of it. When I stopped the game, it actually teleports you back to, I guess, your central hub area. And so it took me back to Fort Henry, but from where we're at right now, there's the fort right there, the forta. And so we're going to go on up into this ravine and see if maybe there's anything interesting for us to find here. Okay, I'm here. Ah, there it is. I was hearing a little bit of ringing. Is there anything off down this way? I just want to make sure that I totally view the area before I go any further. Basically, take note of any landmarks while I have this nice overlooking view of everything, or at least this little valley area and that little valley over there, and maybe that little road right over there. Let's take this note and let's see what's going on. That infernal storm spared our ship, but scuttled Captain Harper's common sense and that of all who supported him in continuing on after the Rebecca and Splendor turned back to England. We shall all of us pay for that folly and disproportionate measure unless we abandon this hopeless venture and sail away from here with all the provisions we can gather. So it appears as though the place was left behind, and the supply ships that they required in order for them to keep them stocked and fighting the Spanish got wiped out on the rocks, and only one ship made it through, if that ship even made it. Up here, ooh, water barrel. Okay, I've already filled up at the town before I started the episode, but there it is. We've got ourselves a freebie water barrel here, just in case. I don't know who put. You know, it seems ill-advised to drink water out of a barrel just sitting out in the middle of nature, just out there. I'm just saying, personally, me, I wouldn't be like, ooh, barrel water, and just start shoveling it into my face. This morning we could find no trace of Tabitha Markley. The sentry saw no one coming or going, nor was there any sign of struggle. Even her sister, asleep in the same bed, was not roused. It can only be some foul sorcery. Oh, good. Magics are involved. Alright, well, now that we're on the other side of this ravine, I think that my goal was to come down this way and swing around the outside edge until we got back to the forest edge and at least check this area out, and then we'll try and get up in the internals of this area in just a moment. We've already gone off that way. If you recall in the previous episode, there was either an Indian encampment over there, or it was just kind of these makeshift little huts that maybe the soldiers had made for themselves. Thought I heard the sound of something. Could be wrong though. I don't know. This game sets me ill at ease. It makes me wonder what is on the horizon. What's over here? Looks like we've hit a dead end. They do like to hide treasure chests in areas like these, so you do want to take a nice long look whenever you land in one of these little corners. It's not typically so bad as landing in corners in other games because there is treasure scattered everywhere, and God knows we could use all the coins that we could get our hands on because there is some pretty sweet shiny gear up in that shop, and I want it to be mine. What was that? I saw something red off that way. Oh, we've got a soldier. Let's go ahead and say that the hunt is on, and we're going to see if we can take him out Far Cry style. Actually, I can move quickly if I can get alongside these stones. And then, now that we're in the shadow, we get low. And if we aren't blocked by foliage here... Got him. Down he goes, and so canceling my second shot right there. I always get a second shot ready right after I take the first, just in case he's got backup or anybody else coming for him. But let's get our gear back. Okay, so we've got another broken rusty musket. We're full up on whatever ammo type that is over there. I hear the sound of roaring, and I'm hoping it's not I who has agitated such a sound from the lips of my enemies. There's another one over there. They do have a ridiculously long sight range, and so one of the things that I will say, one of the things that I will advise you to do as you play through the game is just stay low. If you can hear an enemy or if you know one's around but you can't quite see him, just stay low, because in all honesty, they are able to see you from a really long ways off. And for using muskets, they've got fairly good accuracy at taking you out with them. Okay, so that one's got a knife. Ooh, I got him with the tomahawk right in the face. Hell yeah. That was awesome. That was the greatest thing that I've done in a long time. Oh, I got my tomahawk back too. I was gonna say, the tomahawk seems like a resilient... I love tomahawks, by the way. I don't know if you had extrapolated that data. But in real life, I absolutely... Oh, I was gonna say that looks like it's still closed. But anyways, in real life, I absolutely love tomahawks. I had a couple of them growing up as a kid, and I really did enjoy playing around with them, looking at them, fiddling with them. I mean, tomahawks are a really, really cool weapon. It's just a tiny axe, but it's still, I don't know, it's something about how they feel in your hand. Like, just being a fan of, like, random collectible items and small weapon things. The chest is empty. Well, that's a bit of a... Well, that's a bit of a tease. I was going to say, I almost used different terminology, but I caught myself right at the end because we do a PG-13 show here. But anyways, I enjoy tomahawks. I just like the way they lay in your hand. I like how easy they are to throw. Like, you can throw a tomahawk probably, if I get, let me see here. You could probably throw a tomahawk from, like, this far away from a tree and stick it, like, every time once you get used to 2 rotations. And you learn to just get it to spin at just the right speed. I threw a lot of tomahawks when I was a kid. I liked them a lot. Is that a normal way for little kids to spend their time? I feel like that's one of those things I shouldn't admit to people, or they're going to think I'm like a psycho or something. 38 coins out of the treasure chest. Once again, using nature as their banking solution. I don't see any enemies, nor do I hear any enemies, so since I hear no evil, see no evil, I'm going to walk as though there is no evil in the area. Another treasure chest over here, and a glowing water barrel over there. We are, after all, still looking. If you wanted to know what quests we're working on, our investigations that we have running are the Maiden in Red, and then we also have Martha Eastgrove. So we were looking for Martha Eastgrove for her ghostly husband, or her ghostly husband. There we are. There's a B in that word. A husband. I don't know. That sounds like an insult. Like, you filthy husband. Sounds like something you might get punched in the jaw for calling. Ooh, another explosivo. Drink from the water barrel. Okay, so we have enemies off that way, and in fact one that looks very, very well armored. He looks quite a bit shinier than his kin. Yeah. I don't know how I want to approach this, because obviously... Ooh. Oh wow, there's so many of them. And those deflections are not going to work in our favor. I don't even know what that was. I just got hit by something. And I didn't hear a gunshot or anything like that, so... I'm not even positive I have the ammunition to kill these guys. Oh hell, he threw a giant boulder at me. Oh, and he leads me too. Okay. Oh, it's because the boulder goes slightly... There we go, I got him. And so if I can pick off his backup, I think we'll be alright, but this big bruiser is definitely kind of terrifying. What a talented fellow. Oh, I thought that was a headshot. Come on now. I need this. I need this very, very badly. There are a lot of projectiles coming my direction, and it's not fun. There we go. Another one bites the dust. And then this big dude, I'm willing to bet we probably don't want him near us at all. Oh, reload. I got a different one. Never mind. Oh, pack faster. Pack faster. Oh my god. Alright! Unlocked the Southgate destination. I am really, really hoping that you drop something worthwhile for me, because we went through a lot of ammo going, just taking care of him by himself. Let's go ahead and check the bodies out here and see what we can rope up. And I'm willing to bet there's probably going to be a little bit of treasure waiting for us over by that gate. But god, the enemies are getting beefier. Additionally, I didn't tell you guys this. Well, there's an enemy you guys haven't seen, but I've seen when I was running back from the respawn area when you quit the game. Like I said, it respawns you in town when you quit the game. And so you haven't seen this enemy, but there's definitely one around. We got a silver medallion, definitely some bling to help us feel prestigious when we're out on the field of combat. Let people know that we mean business. Nothing over there. Arrows stuck in trees over here. Did we get enough? Did we get any ammo back? Oh, we did. Good. So let's go ahead and load this thing up. I'm going to make sure both my 2s and 3s are loaded. That gate seems to be shimmering with some kind of dark magic. It's very clearly a witch. It's a witch gate. We need to burn it or throw it in the lake or do whatever it is that people of this time period did to things that glowed with a witchly glow. Okay, we can't carry any more of that ammo type. Take a look over the fence right here. I was expecting there to be more over here because I don't have a way to bypass these gates yet, so this is going to be the south gate. Oh, there's a letter, okay. Let's see what it has to say. Mr. Burden was told by one of the Indians of a great kingdom that lies in ruin to the far west, said to have been rich with copper and pearls of finest quality. Naturally, this tale has aroused much keen discussion and speculation among all who have heard it, but the tribe says it's a haunted and cursed place guarded by the shades of those who dwell there. The gate is kept closed by night. The gate is shrouded in some manner of corruption and won't open. Alright, and so we've got an impasse on this side. Let me check all of this foliage over here for treasure chests or anything else that might be useful to us. Okay, so nothing over there in that dark little corner. Well, seeing as we're coming up with goose eggs right now with regards to useful itemage, I suppose we'll continue around the edge of the map and then we'll check out the center once we've gone far enough to reasonably assume that there's nothing here hiding from us. What's this? An explosive. Okay, well, seeing as I've got extra explosives, let's see what they do here. Let's play with them. Oh, it's just like an old school grenade. Okay. Oh, I thought that was an enemy. Scared me. So another shrine that's shrouded in corruption. I'm thinking that later on we're going to get some kind of holy water or something that gets rid of that. Do a little bit of the old Castlevania action. Like this would be a terrible night for a curse. And all that fun stuff. Or it would be a terrible night for a curse. I don't remember what it said on Nintendo. I only had Simon's Quest because I hated myself as a child. And I wanted to be miserable and upset all the time, so. Do we have a diggy spot? Among the stones, you find the remains of a woman. Strands of long dark hair are still attached to the moldering skull. There's a bullet hole in her forehead. Yikes. Gonna take a shot in the dark here and say that she was murdered with a pistol. Dug up a valuable-looking distinctive necklace of gold and topaz. All clues have been found on this map. All clues have been found and all destinations have been unlocked. Okay, well, I'm a little bit confused by that revelation because we still haven't found Martha Henry and we still haven't found anything. I don't know, maybe we can go back with some of the things that we found and show them to the Radiant or the Lady in Red. And ooh, a common pistol. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's dump one of these rusty muskets. I think that I would rather let's see how I figure out. Ah, you drag it over to there. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to go with the common pistol. We'll keep the rusty musket. I wonder if these are going to be vendorable. It looks like they do have a sell price, so I should probably get rid of some of these lackluster weapons. Now we've got ourselves a little gun. Nice. And I don't know, let me take a look at the damage quotients, or the damage variety. We got 75 damage from right there. The common pistol does 110. Oh my god. So the damage actually vastly exceeds on common items that of their inferior cousins. So I'm going to try and get myself as many of the... Sounds like it's on my left. Gravestone over here. Let's see what it has to say. This grave is unmarked. Well, that's kind of a good thing. You don't want your dog to be off the leash when he's in the cemetery. I mean, it seems like a disrespectful thing to do. In my hometown, we had the creepiest cemetery ever. Like, we're in the middle of modern California. It's not like Europe, where you guys have all kinds of ancient and scary stuff. But for whatever reason, in the middle of the graveyard in my hometown, they built this enormous medieval-looking tower, maybe 5 or 6 stories tall, that they store all the equipment in. But it looks almost like a World War I bunker, or maybe like an old castle, or some kind of edifice for resisting sieges, and it's just in the middle of the graveyard, and it just sits there. And I know the grave tender is out there because I've seen him. And so sometimes at night, like that top window will be lit. It's just creepy. I mean, I'm not superstitious at all, but it's still just one of those things. It's the imagery. Not necessarily, like, I know it's just the gravekeeper who's in there, or the groundskeeper who's in there, like, fiddling with his different machinery and, you know, organizing his tools. He might even live in there. I don't know. Living on a graveyard seems slightly morose. It seems like one of those things that might, I don't know. Living on a graveyard, once again, I try not to be superstitious, but it just seems weird. Okay, we got another one over here, so that makes 3 that we found thus far. And bloody bushes. Why are the bushes bleeding? Odd. What was that? Oh, another letter. Why has the Lord Governor ordered us to collect up valuables and shiny trinkets to hide in the woods away from our settlements? What purpose can such measures serve but to deject the population already forlorn from hunger, sickness, and constant harassment by Spanish attacks? I like that I know it's like metagame, but I think it's interesting that they went through and they tried to provide an explanation for like why all the treasure is hidden out in the forest. Or at least allude to the fact that the governor was losing his mind or something. Well, since we found just about everything, I mean, I think we're still missing a chest or something. Like a chest or 2. If I had a bird that was a cockatoo, that's what I would name him, Chester 2. Like with Chester and then a TU at the end. I don't hear... You hear nothing else in the light. I think I can hear a slight sound. Like a ringing, but sometimes it's difficult in order to get a feel for where it's at. I don't know. Let's go ahead and we'll just talk to the lady in red one more time and see if maybe we've figured anything out. I don't know. We can go to our inventory. How do we sell this stuff? Or do you just scrap them for their values? Oh, you scrap them for the values that you get out. Okay, so all these rusty muskets are in the end going to be useful to us, which is a nice thing to know. And so having 482 inflict 150. I'll probably hold on to the charms just because I might rotate in between them. With 462 gold, we could get ourselves a common longbow, but you're only looking at a factor of 10 damage right there when we purchase it. Is the deflect chance any different? Let's have a look at the deflect chance and see if... Oh, it lowers your deflect chance by a little bit too, but only 5%. We've already got the tomahawk. I'm actually interested in purchasing anything that allows me to have a bit more ammunition, because we've already got... I could buy a common musket, which does quite a bit of damage. Does 95? So how does... Oh, it's the range. Okay, so it's the range of the thing. So we get 20 more damage. That has a special effect of stagger now that I'm looking at it. That's kind of cool. I don't know, though. I do like the bow. I really like playing around with bows in games. They make me feel stealthy. No matter what we do, we definitely need more ammo. So I suppose I'll buy the common longbow first. We'll just start there with our collective upgrades. And we've been picking up enough... I'm actually just going to get rid of the rusty musket, I think. I just hold on to the common... Yeah, we'll keep the longbow and we'll keep the... Oh, I don't want the... Okay, we'll keep the pistol and the longbow and we're good right there. Let's have a little conversation with the lady in red. I remember we lived here for a time after we arrived. There were many skirmishes with the naturals in those days until we finally made peace with them. Do you think these ash figures were the people who lived here? Which ash figures? Have you not seen the figures of ash that look like people? Are you trying to scare me? That sounds horribly unsettling, but I've seen no such thing. Really? Okay, it's a little weird that you haven't noticed that. I mean, they seem somewhat out in the open. I mean, you're like 5 feet from it. No? Observational skills, not your forte? What's that ringing sound? Oh, I think it's him, based on the directionality of the sound that I'm hearing through my headphones. I guess the ash... Yeah, the ash figures make a sound. Okay, well, now that we've got ourselves... We've completed, like, everything in this place. We found all the locations. We found... I guess ring the bell again, maybe? To take me back to nighttime? I don't know if you can explore two separate maps, but I'm gonna find out. Let's go ring the bell. We'll get our ding-ding on here. And we'll see if maybe that helps. And so, can we explore? Oh, hell. So do we explore two different versions of every map? It appears as though we do. Although this one is decidedly drained of color. Although the game does have kind of a washed out palette with the color settings I've been playing it on. For interest purpose, you can make the game very saturated with color. I just think it kind of takes something away from the artistic nature of the game if you do so, considering the game is intended to be played in black and white. I find that adding a little bit of color helps me just... Oh, what the hell? Oh, balls. Or bones, I guess. I don't know what he just threw at me, but I don't accept that. Projectiles not allowed. He dropped a glass bead. So I wonder if the corrupted sites are different in the darkness. Let's go check the corruption sites. And we'll see if we've got kind of a ghostly mechanic going on right now. Where... Oh, it's weird how the light shines through the darkness like that. That's really kind of a weird effect that they've managed to accomplish. It definitely reminds me of either... On burn days, in my hometown, we had a big orchard. Or we had a big orchard industry, essentially, where there were lots of trees. And on burn days, the entire city would be wreathed in kind of this orange smoke. And the sun would shine through it just like that. And that's what it really reminds me of. It was kind of like you couldn't see the sun, but it would just kind of shine through the ash. It wants me to go that way. But I'm interested in checking out the corrupted shrines at night. If I can find it. I think there was one over here somewhere. It might be gone though. I mean, we may get over here and find that it's a non-factor. It doesn't exist anymore in whatever this alternate realm is. Oh, there it is, and it's not shrouded in corruption anymore. Okay, well, let's follow our ears here. We've got a few minutes left in the episode. Actually, we got like a minute, but we'll run on over here, and then I'll pause it up. We'll start the next episode. It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely okay. So it sounds as though I'm going in the right direction. I'm just going to keep going. We handled that we handled the skeleton. I almost said scorpion, because for whatever reason I have scorpions on the mind, but we seem to have handled the skeleton perfectly fine without any major hang-ups, so I suppose there's not too much to be feared out here. No, it's definitely on our left. So it might be back in town. Has the ghost returned? No, he's still gone. Weird. I don't know why. This creeps me out. Something about the abandoned nature of a place that was once inhabited. Like, you see that a lot out here on the west. We have a lot of ghost towns because of the mining boom. And when you go to these ghost towns where things are still like where they've been sitting for like the last 100 to 80 years, you're just like, really? It's freaky. It's real freaky. The sound doesn't appear to be very directional. Yeah, I'm rotating right now to kind of get a feel for where the sound might be coming from, but having trouble with it. Let's just go check the major locations on the map. So we'll head up to this little ravine in here, and we'll see if there's anything there. We'll check the major locations. We'll go down south to the gate. We'll go on out to the ravine, and if we don't find anything there, we'll try and investigate. Right there, we're facing north-northeast. I think whatever it is has got to be in town, because the sound definitely feels like it's coming from over there. But me being the inquisitive type, I'm going to have a look around first and see what we might find. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for the 3rd episode of our Betrayer playthrough. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and I will see you once again in the fog.